Keith, first of all, can you just give us some team news, please? Any injuries?
Sid Nelson and James Vaughan. Obviously Otis Khan and potentially one or two niggles, but the rest are ready to go.
Where's the line, Keith, between enjoying this occasion and also treating it as a game that you'd like to win?
Oh, you've got to enjoy your work. Our work's football, and we're very fortunate that it's also our hobby, but our hobby as well in this industry is winning. Desire, determination, effort, and we've got to show those characteristics. And I've previously said in interviews that we don't practice failure. So I'm exactly the same as every manager. You know, whether you're top, middle, or bottom of the league, whether you're in the FA Cup third round, whether you're in the Papa John's final, you're preparing your team and you believe in your team and the way that you work to win a football match. So enjoyment, I have a lot of enjoyment in my life without the scoreboard, you know, and that's preparing the players, that's working with the players, building relationship with the players, preparing the team for the opposition tactically, and supporting the players. But we're often governed, you know, in the way that we think, and a perspective or interpretation of enjoyment is whether you win or lose. But when you get to the final, nobody remembers the losers, do they?
Perhaps this is an unlikely avenue as well in terms of a competition to get to the final, to get to Wembley and win. Did you prioritise this competition at the start of the season?
I've not been here since the start of the season. I've been here since the knockout rounds, and it was a priority to play a certain way and integrate the players into my philosophies as a group, not just as a playing group, but as a watching group, to my methods and the way that I want us to play. And it's been integral because we haven't had, and we didn't have in the early stages, a lot of training ground practice because we were playing Saturday, Tuesday. So it was difficult for me to come in and, you know, I said at the time when I did come in that it doesn't need, you know, open heart surgery, because Dorsey and Parky were doing a marvellous job with a group of players, and they continue to do a marvellous job. But there were certain things that I wanted to slightly change to make us better, to add to how well it was going. And I think the Papa John's trophies allowed me to do that with a group of players and the way that I want to play. And I think transitionally, we've taken that in from the Papa John's and training ground into our league form as well. So it's been integral. It's been very, very important. And creating a winning culture, or continually trying to strive with that DNA to demand of your teammates, you know, a winning environment. So when I talk about a winning environment, I'm talking about the performances. Again, take away the scoreboard and the emotional reaction to that. There's certain aspects of the game that I demand on the players. And since I've been at the club, they perform to those demands, and I'm really pleased with the way that we're playing.
And in many of the games, you've in terms of the team you've picked, you've used players who perhaps are on the periphery of the league starting 11, if you like. So does that make it more difficult to choose a team this weekend?
No, it just it's training ground practice and belief, trust in a group of players, and you know, you've got to be brave. We've been brave in the competition. I think the last time we played against Oldham, I think a TV pundit suggested that I'd selected the wrong side. You know, I work with this group of players day in, day out. I trust them. I trust them to interpret what we want tactically against any opposition. And I think it was a bit of an insult to suggest that me and the group of staff had selected the wrong side to win against Oxford.
You talk about different types of opposition, and Sunderland are clearly at the top end of League One. There's a brilliant stat before the game which says that only Manchester City have won more games this calendar year than Tranmere Rovers in the top 4 tiers. So regardless of the opposition you're facing, that must give you great confidence.
I didn't know that. Like I said, I deal with decision making, and my decision making is not opinion making. But that stat, like you said, it's a great stat to go into the game with, but it's not going to affect the next game. I think from a confidence point of view, it's brilliant that we can win games against any opposition. I thought we were very unfortunate to lose the game against Barnsley. I thought that was one of our best performances, of 2021. But we're confident. With due respect to Sunderland, they're an excellent side, got an excellent manager. I expect them to get promoted this season. I think it was a great appointment. They're in good form, but so are we. And we'll give ourselves an underdog's opportunity. And as long as we fight like underdogs, then I'll be really proud of the players.
What's your record like at Wembley, Keith?
As a manager, not very good. Lost 2, played 2. One of them was against Stockport, where we had quite a depleted squad going into a playoff final. We got beat 3-2 by Stockport, and 2 seasons later we got promoted. Stockport got relegated, and it was a bit of a justification really, because we were one of the lower budgets in League Two and we got promoted automatically a couple of seasons later. And the other one was when we played Tottenham in the FA Cup, who was using obviously Wembley, and we got to half time 1 each. In the second, obviously in the replay, we ended up getting beat 6-1.
Well, better luck on Sunday. And just finally, the obvious absence, of course, at the weekend will be the supporters, and we can only really imagine the sort of atmosphere that they would have produced. So how much are you going to miss them?
Well, any supporter in any stadium is a big miss. But our home supporters travelling to Wembley again would have been magnificent. It would have been my real first experience of having, a big percentage of supporters, because we have been in lockdown. So we've only had, 2,000 home supporters in, I think, 2 home games that we played. So we're disappointed on their behalf that they can't, be at Wembley. But trust me, they have reached out, they have been in touch, they have sent video messages through. Some brilliant video messages that we've had of supporters, and we're doing this for them. The supporters, they are the lifeblood, the heartbeat of our football club, and we're doing everything that we can to justify, their support. And it's sorely missed, but we know that they're there every day as we're preparing for all the games, including obviously beating or trying to beat Sunderland at Wembley on Sunday.
Thanks, Keith. Good luck.
Keith, Paul Lewis said the pitch at Southend was pretty slick and enabled Tranmere to play some really good football. Great performance from the team on Tuesday night. Wembley Stadium, carpet of a pitch, that gives you a real chance, doesn't it, with your brand of football?
We've got a real chance anyway. So it's going to be difficult. Let's be neutral emotionally about this. Yes, we're representing Tranmere, but going into the game, we've got to look at the opposition's strengths and weaknesses, but we've got to make an impact on what we do and how we do it. So it's got to be no different on Sunday. We can't play the stats. We can't play, previous years at Wembley. We've got to play this game in isolation. We've got to treat it as a normal game and, assess, evaluate after we've actually played the game on Sunday. We're very confident. We're not arrogant. We're very humble, appreciative of the opportunities that we've had in this competition. We're just looking after each other from a football perspective, but also as a person perspective. We're looking after each other's needs. We're making sure we're well prepared. And, the pitch it's absolutely superb, like you said, and it will want and it'll warrant a good footballing spectacle. But I want my players to run. I want them to run with heart, with ambition, with desire, determination. I want them to support one another. And again, I've had that and I expect that will happen again on Sunday.
Obviously, the league is still considered the bread and butter. There'll never be any getting away from that. But a final is a final. Everyone wants to play in one. And then you've got another big game on Tuesday, I think. I think it's Grimsby. Have you got, in this dynamic, have you got to think ahead, or can you not look that far ahead and only pick a team based on the next game?
We play Wednesday at Grimsby.
So Wednesday, yeah.
But I have, over my period as a manager, I've selected teams and had the foresight to select teams for the next fixture, and it doesn't work. It doesn't work at this level. There's a suggestion that it does work, but it doesn't. In my experience, you should really just be focusing on the next game, because the next game might be your last game.
Any players come to you and said, "Don't leave me out"?
No. I've got a good squad of players. They understand. We do communicate quite well. There is disappointment, but it's how you deal with disappointments that will make you a better person, a better teammate. And we're always talking about sacrificial behaviour. You know, how important it is, not just on the field of play, on the training pitch, and when selection is made, how the group support one another, the group dynamics. You know, if players aren't playing, that's so important if you want to be successful, because every player that we've got from now till the end of the season will be needed. They'll be needed to start, they'll be needed to finish, and they'll be needed for moments. And it does include Sunday as well. You know, this game is a product of the success that we've had over the last 4 games since the knockout stages and 3 games in the group competition. So we've come a long way, and it's a group mentality that we've come a long way with. But we do want to win the game, and the selection will warrant, you know, not just what we do, but what the opposition potentially do as well.
Coming back from Prenton Park on Saturday, I was listening to a bit of a League Two roundup on a national radio station. Never mentioned Tranmere once in the mix, and yet we're talking about a team that was a League One side last year and is determined to get back there. Is this game, a televised game, an opportunity to show exactly how far Tranmere have come and what they're all about?
I don't know. I don't use anything. I don't get offended. You know, I've been offended all my life, you know, growing up. As a player, as a manager, you sort of get used to it. So you get used to it that much that you don't become offended when people don't give you any acknowledgement or any credit. And I think it helps stabilise our opportunities. But I don't see Sunday being a showcase for what we do and Tranmere. I'd rather go under the radar and be successful.
Has James Vaughan had his knee operation? Can you give us any update on that?
He has. Again, he had it on Wednesday. So I've got to catch up with him and the doc, and we will get our you know, feedback from the surgeon. So I can't give you anything other than he's actually had the operation. Okay,
just final one from me as well. As James has already touched on, no fans in the ground on Sunday, of course, but right through your tenure at Tranmere so far, that's pretty much what you've been used to. Does that frustrate you in any way that you've not been able to sort of build that not that you haven't built a bond with the supporters, but what I mean is being able to have that close relationship with them whilst Tranmere have been on this good run of you know, effectively picking up 2 points a game?
I don't think you have to be visible to build a relationship. You know, my daughter lives in Australia. She's lived there for the last 6 years, and I have a real strong relationship with my daughter, as I do with my other daughter and my little boy and all my family. So for me, it's difficult, but we have built a strong relationship, and we are fighting and trying to be successful on behalf of those supporters. We realise, and I certainly realise, the importance of our supporters. They're the heartbeat of every football club. They're special, they're unique to this football club. And I know that they'll be there on Sunday. You know, we will feel the supporters' presence. We've already felt the supporters' presence during the course of the week, you know, with videos being sent through with all good luck messages. So, like I said, I believe there's a strong relationship between this team and between me and the supporters already. and we're trying to be successful on their behalf.
They've renamed the pizza shop after you in Birkenhead, I think, ahead of this game. Papa Keith's, might you pop in for a pepperoni on the way back if you win?
A pepperoni.
Not sure if they sell it.
Sorry?
I'm not sure if they sell them, but I'm sure you get one.
Listen, it's a positive little bit of embarrassment, you know, because, like I said, I'm representing the people, I'm representing the supporters, and the players are. And I think it's special that we're at Wembley. I think it's special that this group of players get a little bit of acknowledgement because they're doing ever so well. And, you know, in a pandemic, for us to play Saturday, Tuesday, including this competition when other League Two sides haven't played, I think the players have gone through a hell of a lot and will continue to go through a hell of a lot for everybody connected with this football club.